Hi, good morning. This is Rafi. I have around 30 years of experience. I have seen different cycles of IT, where it started with a monolith and then microservices and then web app. Now that is going into GenAI based development agentic. So this is a new series. So I'm going to publish multiple episodes. Each episode will be 30 minutes. So I have created as a GenAI Mentor as a channel because I see there is a need for a structural coaching to enable people to get the reskilling. That is the intention. This is my first episode. Let's get into episode. I don't want to kind of give a lot of gyan. So now, what am I going to talk about in this episode? Okay. I have an agenda, so maybe I may not be able to cover all of that in 30 minutes. So we'll start and then we'll continue in further sessions, right? So now world is changing, and I want to pick up an application and create to demonstrate the change. And the role is changing. The developer role, tester role, or kind of people are calling a new role like a builder. I'm going to play a builder role today and show a day in a life of a builder by building the application that I'm going to talk about as a second point. And that application, I'll make it live. It is not a demo application, etc. I'm going to continuously build on that, which will be a application which will be used. Finally, I'll tell some tips how you can get a skill of a builder. So that is the agenda. So 25 minutes will focus on what we can make a progress, and last 5 minutes I'll focus on tips for you so that you can get that skill. A lot of people are calling me and asking what should I do, where should I start. That is the reason I started this session and episodes. So now the world is changing. Before there is a job for developer will apply, tester will apply, but now AI is going to help you with the development and testing. So hence, you don't need to learn a programming language. You don't need to do how to do testing. That AI will do with a major contribution. What you need to do is how can you play a cross-functional role or cross-technical role, right? Having a skill of architect and front-end developer and back-end developer, tester and UX designer. So that role is called builder. Okay, so now you need to gear up for that because the world is going to disrupt. And if you don't change, I think whoever can work with AI will replace the job. Uh, okay, so now either you need to get the skill how to work with AI, or it will be a difficult situation for you. Okay. Now, how can I demonstrate this, right? I'm not going to preach you, so I would maybe teach you by doing it. So I picked up an application that we can create. So we all have different networking platforms, Facebook for personal network and LinkedIn for professional network. So those were created ages ago to enable people to do network and share information. So now that became a noise, right? So if I log into Facebook, there are too many messages, and I stopped using Facebook 5 years ago. Now LinkedIn, again, if you go, there is too much of, say for example, AI, everybody copy paste and then too much of noise, same news again and again, and then I'm not getting the crisp message out of it. So I want to build a agentic network. So I may call it as a builder network, and I want to profile which a builder can put it there, and the builder profile will have a agent in front, which can communicate to other agents. The other agents could be HR agent or enterprise agent, etc., or publisher agent. So it can pick up and analyze the noise, eliminate the noise, and bring a summary view to me, and then tell me where I need to engage. For example, if I need to apply for companies for as a builder as a role, which is a new, I need to search for which companies I need to apply for, and there may be 10 or 100 HR may be reaching out. I need to do filter, or I need to create a job, a CV, apply. All of the activities I'll delegate to the agent, and I'll get in only where I need to spend my time. So that is what I'm going to build. It cannot be built in 30 minutes, but we'll start, and in further episodes we'll continue. Okay. Now, I would like to start playing the role of builder. I don't want to preach the role of builder, so let's get into the builder role. So I'm going to be the builder today. First, I'll play the yeah. So there are two roles will be there in future: AI empowered product owner and AI empowered engineer or builder. But a single person also play both the roles together. So there is a concept coming like a one person company, one person millionaire company. You don't need a team. You can build whatever you want because AI is providing you the backbone. So I'm going to build that application which I talked about. I'm going to start with a simple prompt as a vibe coding. It can create the specification and go into spec coding. This is the prompt I would like to start with. I would like to build an agentic application for professional network for builders. I want to call it as a builder network. I would call that as call that application. I would like to features as mentioned below. I just want to start with few feature and later on I can add profile for individual, agentic profile for individual. Why I say agentic profile? That should have agent which can communicate. And I don't want to copy paste. If you have any other professional network, you can pull the data and then build it so that I don't need to type. Uh, and profile should have an agent to represent the individual, and agent profile can communicate to another agent profile. So it's a stretch goal, may not be complete immediately. So I'm telling that also to AI so that it can focus on basic feature and will come to this later. Involve human when needed. And agent in the profile to do to communicate in first, communicate and also do actions first. Maybe I'll change that. Agent first approach to do communications and actions, provide summary and involve humans when needed. And it's a stretch goal. Okay, now I don't want to tell which technologies to use. So I'm giving the liberty to AI to pick the best technologies for front end, back end. And also I'm telling use good visuals as a professional UI UX designer. Uh, and I'm giving some constraints. So I'm telling use Firebase stack for database functions and hosting. Why? Because I am more comfortable with that. Firebase as a hierarchical database. I don't want to use a relational database, and it has a emulator which I can test locally. So let me start. Now I have not started with any architectural diagram, UI UX diagram, or starting to code line by line or file by file in a IDE. There is no need for IDE. The need for IDE is diminishing. So now I will start with CLI mode. Okay, now Claude introduced Claude CLI, and now there are many CLIs, Gemini CLI and GitHub Spec Kit and all. So why I choose to do CLI mode? So it can do things at scale, at speed, right? It could be 10x, 50x, etc. So I picked Claude CLI, Claude Code because they are the one who introduced it first. And I'm using Sonnet 4.5 with Claude Max subscription. So let me start with this prompt. I'm giving this prompt. So I will take another episode. How do you set up Claude Code, etc. Right now, let's see how do we build. So I'm the builder now, so I'm starting to build this application. So now it understood my intent. So this is an empty directory, by the way. Okay, so I have a builder network. Let's see where it chooses, whether it puts in the same directory or this is also empty. So now, okay, so now it did a planning. So it understood I need to create a front end, back end, back end. Again, it divided functions for serverless logic and authentication, hosting, storage, etc. So it picked up Firebase stack and then picked up the right part. For agentic framework, it picked up LangChain, OpenAI, GPT-4, or Anthropic Cloud, two options, and vector database, and then LangGraph. Okay, so now and then integration to LinkedIn API because I told I need to do um, creation of profile by picking already existing professional network. So it is asking which AI product you want to use. I'm using Anthropic Cloud, so I will choose that. If it will ask some question if it want to get some input from you. So now that is a new change in Cloud CLI. So it is uh, asking the AI provider and approach. So is it MEP or is it a full blown? I'll go with full blown. And Firebase, okay, project is ready. Okay, it is asking. Say, let's assume I have not. I don't have anything. I'll choose. I don't have a Firebase project, so I need setup. Okay, and I'm giving these inputs to Claude CLI. So now it is researching and finalizing the technology stack based on our inputs. Now it is deciding, okay, I will build full application with Anthropic Cloud. Yeah, so it found out there is a folder already there, builder network. Let me check what's in it. So it's going and checking. So it will analyze all the folder because you started with that. You started Claude in that folder, so it will understand all the folder. So it is checking is there an existing project or is it a new project. Since we said we want to build builder network, it is finding is there any files, but nothing is there. So then it started designing a new application architecture as an architect role, and then it decided it knows what to do. So as a developer, first we'll call as a dependencies. Okay, I need to have Anthropic ASDK, etc., etc. So now it started doing the actions. So I'll approve whenever it needs an approval, it will ask. So it created a package.json. Hmm. So we asked in project folder and it found out, okay, I created one folder. It is trying to do the building of the project in that folder. So now it is going to rest other actions and is asking approval. So I've been working with Cloud Code for last few months. So I know it will keep asking. I don't want to give SS rather than I can narrate the actions what it is doing. I'll give a approval. Either you can go individual approval or you can give an approval during the session, or you can tell Claude CLI to do things differently. So I'm going to give approval for this session. So then it can go autonomous mode. So the approval is given for this session. So now it can go faster. So it created a config. So see the speed at which it's creating. So it will go. and do things faster than normally if you do a micromanagement approval SNS. But you need to know how things work. Initially, you start with uh, individual approval. Later on, once you know and trust it, then you do it session approval or a particular category approval, etc. Now it is doing application architecture and database schema, and we guided that Firebase, right? So it is doing a database schema based on the documents. So Firebase uses hierarchical structure. It created a collection for profile, etc. And it is going to rules, and it created only user logged in user can access that the profile. So it is taking care of security. A new developer does not know Firebase stack, cannot write this properly. He may not know where to go and what to change. So all of that is responsibility of AI to figure out what to do. Human should ask what AI need to do and give the right direction. And if it goes out of track, you need to get it under track. Those are the responsibilities of human in the future. And you don't need to write every line of code, so your mind also will be peaceful. So the stress will not be there. So the heavy lifting will be done by AI now. So now setting up the project with Firebase configuration. So maybe if you are eager, then you can show what is happening uh, on the right hand side. Okay, now if you see under builder network, you created the Firebase JSON, storage rules, etc. And it also created environment file. Right now it is doing Firebase configuration. And it started doing coding now, how to do authentication with Firebase and how to interact with the database. And there are many ways to do. So in this session, I'm picking Claude CLI. Maybe in other episodes, I can pick up other areas. If you are interested in any areas, you can put a comment on this video. Maybe I'll pick it up and prioritize. But I will be taking different multiple episodes to build application and show okay how a builder will be doing the work, and so that you can also start learning and then you update your skill to become a builder. So I want to kind of help people to reskill. Maybe my mission is to maybe create 1 million builders by helping them to reskill. That is what my objective. Maybe those 1 million builder can come into this agentic network and they can find the right job with agent first approach. Yeah, now it is going to integration. So now let me create LinkedIn integration and UI component. Let me create the LinkedIn integration. So now if you want to watch, yeah, now it went to src file. See, it is, see, so it created a folder. It know how to structure the project. So it is creating multiple libraries. And it will properly structure. A developer cannot structure properly. So on the right hand side, I'm just navigating the structure. So it created a LinkedIn folder because LinkedIn is a module. So it created like that, and it has a Firebase as a module, agents as a module. So right now it is creating one by one, and it's also creating utility also. So it creates in a proper structure with all the best practices that is possible to have. It's creating components, avatars, badge, etc. So now you've been observing last 15 minutes I did not do anything. So it is trying to do on itself. It did a plan and it started doing the task. It is going in a methodological approach. So how long it can go? That could be one question. Why did not stop ask more question? The reason is it has a large language model brain now that is matured. It can think better than a normal human being. So that is called AGI. So the maturity is slowly going towards AGI. So it can do things more than a normal developer or an architect because it's a multi-skilled personality. So it can code up to 30 hours straight with the recent models that are released by Anthropic. And you need to have right packages to enable the tokens usage. So as it is doing, it is consuming the tokens. So on the right hand side, you see for this action, it is taking some 19,000 20K tokens, and it is the context that is picking and sending that to LLM and that input and output tokens. But the cost for this is not huge. So Claude is using subscription model and consumption model. I'll explain that in a separate session. So behind the scene, it is all token LLM, prompt engineering, context engineering. It will take the own context what is needed. It will do the prompt engineering that is needed. You don't need to worry about it. And if the token consumes all of your subscription, not subscription, consumption. If your consumption reduced your balance, then you need to kind of go and put your dollars. So typically, I put $5 or $10 for consumption use for tokens, and I have a max subscription. Recently upgraded to max. Before I was using the pro or plus version. 15 or $20 package. Now I moved to $90, $100 package. Before Claude had a 200 package. Now there are three slabs for Claude, 15 and 19 and 200, I think. So now based on your subscription and your balance, your activities will go on. If you have the right package, right token subscription balance, sorry, subscription plus the balance for consumption, it will keep on going for 30 hours also. Now it is doing implementing, designing and implementation of UI UX. So I instructed that you need to use proper design with a UI UX professional level. So it took that advice and then it is building the dashboard and profile components. Yeah, we reached almost 25 minutes. So maybe this session will come to end in some minutes. But I will continue the session in episode 2, episode 3. Now it has become so powerful. So we need to change the way we work. It is starting to code a sign-in module. Let's see how many. This is under app. Okay, SRC app. Okay, and it uses some certain structure. Okay, now I'll tell you. Okay, app typically it uses for the UI. Okay, so it uses functions for serverless. So now it is trying to generate. It's still not written, I think. Yeah. So under app, auth is another module, dashboard is another module within app. So it will structure properly. Yeah, now it is going to functions. So what does it function is? So now in the main SRC directory, if you see, let me clear. Okay, it will not be in SRC. Yeah. So here the functions folder, all the serverless functions code will be there. Let's see what are the serverless function is creating. Now it completed the UI, after completing the UI component, it will go to serverless function. Yeah, for serverless function again, it started creating package.json, and then in search folder, it started creating index.ts. So index.ts will have what all the functions are exposed, and it will go create each function. So now a developer no need to create the folder structure file, etc., boilerplate code or business logic. So all of that will be done. It's not only boilerplate code; it is complete application with business logic. And one other thing I like is so it will use cool words, garnishing, vibing, etc. It generates that note also. If it is not a, if it is thinking, typically it will start telling you something. It's not always boring thinking. Right now it is using garnishing. Yeah, now it is revalidating itself. So now what it has done, and then what is the to do? It started generating the setup guide for the a developer if want to look at it, right? How do we start this application? And some documentation it's trying to create right now. All those documents will be there in the main directory. So dot all the MD files it will store in the main directory. So now the new way of documenting or people call it a spec coding or specs. So now all the specifications will be there in as a .md file. So here if you see setup guide.md, readme.md, all the MD file it will generate based on what it had done, based on the structure of the project of the code. Um, so now it is creating architecture MD. So now it is creating a one document for architecture details. Yeah. So it is creating one more contribution guide. It is assuming that I'm going to make it open source. I think so, or I don't know. Let us see. So maybe I'll put this as an open source project. So anybody want to join and contribute? Let's build that agentic network, builder network together. So I think we need to evolve the community of builders. So it's a evolving thing. So maybe we need to create things together. Yeah, we're almost nearing 30 minutes. So the yeah. So now it built that application. So say you saw this, right? 30 minutes it built that application, the base project with working code. So now to conclude this episode, so it completed the base version of the application. So it created the final summary and what are the feature it built, and then full stack application with these technologies with React, TypeScript, Tailwind for front end, back end, Firebase stack, and Anthropic Claude integration for AI intelligence system, database, etc. So it given a summary view of whatever the application it built, what are the features it built, what are the documents it created, what is the project structure, so etc. So now I think with this note, maybe we'll close this episode one, setting the scene. So now we have built a complete professional grade AI powered networking platform so that the MEP is complete. Okay, in the next episode two, I will run it and then show, and then we can add some feature and see how that application looks. So for now, thank you from Rafi, GenAI Mentor. I will see you in next episode two. Thank you.